So this is TV10 Podcast episode 0325, I'm guessing?
Yes, 325 episodes.
Okay, I was right.
People, hell yeah, you called it right on the money as we just went live on air because we're the only podcast that matters as opposed to morning zoos that want to take vacation. But once again, thank you for listening to us. I am Tommy Milagro, still zumped.
I'm Bill Frost, still in the basement, and our guest, mystery guest, please introduce yourself.
I am Paul H. White, known as Dr. White, the professor up at the University of Utah and creator of many NSFWs.
Yes.
Now, we should tune in to our new listeners. At the beginning, we used to say our show was not safe for work or NSFW, but sometimes it would go into a different direction, such as, for example, Dr. White.
Well, usually people talk about it. I remember growing up learning that people at monasteries, so monks and nuns and sisters at convents, they were praying for the world. Well, now it's nuns swearing for world.
Oh, okay.
All right, that could be our title here. We were talking off the air in the green Zoom meeting that it could be one of his, Dr. White's many hashtags, which is a bit fucking long, but
yeah,
I don't know. That could be a good one there. It's been a while since we used an NSFW, so.
And there we have it. And
yes.
It's a good thing I'm not on the morning zoos this week because it's a very slow week in TV. Very slow.
How is it slow for you, whereas the sports desk is inundated with news upon fucking news?
Well, the biggest thing happening this week is Hamilton dropping on Disney Plus on Friday. There's that.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mrs. Frost is very excited about that. And, that's... Oh, George Lopez has a new stand-up special. I like it for the title alone. It's called We'll Do It for Half. It's on Netflix on Tuesday.
I did see that title slide into my DMs, as it were, and I just went, this is wrong, but I dig it.
Yeah. Oh, and Hannibal Buress has a new stand-up special dropping on Friday on YouTube called Miami Nights.
Wait, on YouTube?
That's what it says here on YouTube.
Huh, okay.
Hannibal Buress, also known as the Cosby Killer.
True.
Oh, what a title to have. Cosby Killer.
And, so that's it for new stuff happening this week. Dr. White, are you watching anything in lockdown that you finally getting caught up on, or are you still perpetually behind on things?
I am perpetually behind on things, but I have to admit, on Hamilton, see, I've not seen it. I've not listened to any of the music. I keep having people tell me about it, and I want to see it, so I'm excited about this. But I am sitting in, I think I've mentioned to the TV10 audience before, at my home, we have 3 DVRs.
Oh.
And I have been, it's news, and science and news.
Yeah.
And Snowpiercer, which is on right now as we are live.
Oh.
But here, I'll just read you some of the things from the list.
Okay.
There's Snowpiercer, it's recording right now. Fox News Sunday with Chris Wallace, Face the Nation,
Ooh.
Meet the Press, State of the Union with Jake Tapper, Matter of Fact with Soledad O'Brien, Planet Earth, Real Time, which I'm glad he's going on vacation. Thank you very much.
Are you hate watching? Are you hate watching Bill Maher?
Basically, yeah. Especially with now under the quarantine stuff.
Yeah.
It's just gotten Late Show with Stephen Colbert, Daily Show with Trevor Noah, The Planets, Full Frontal with Samantha Bee, Frontline, How the Universe Works, Venture Brothers, Watchmen, because I re-recorded all the Watchmen.
Yay!
Yes.
Doctor Who. And then here's the fun one, because July, and I promised myself I would do this for some idiotic reason. Fox and Friends first. Waters World, Fox and Friends, Daily Briefing with Dana Perino.
Yeah.
Almost Dana Carvey.
That'd be funny.
Better show. Special Report with Brett Baer, the Ingram angle, Tucker Carlson tonight, and then so you get a sense of So I haven't watched Westworld yet. I've not watched Better Call Saul yet. We still have Stumptown on here. I still have Aquafina on here.
Oh,
Curb
yeah.
Your Enthusiasm, Kidding, The Outsiders, Emergence. I don't know why.
Well, there's
Creature.
only one season of Emergence, so you don't have to worry about keeping up with it after.
Yeah. So you get a sense of most of our television viewing is news, and news.
Yeah, well, despite the leaning one way or the other, it's a pretty solid news list, with the exception of Waters World. That guy's a moron.
Well, it's remember I talked about this before. In the summer I do cable news summer, and so I'm going to start in July with Fox, and so these are some of my shows. These are shows I was going to do it in June, and then this month no.
Yeah, it is. It's always a toss up as who's the absolute dumbest person on Fox News, but it's pretty much Waters.
Yeah, I would like to see him and Judge Janine. Just get slobbering drunk together, and just, and just go, because I think that would be. I think Saturday Night Live would even go, no, we can't touch that. No,
True. Yes.
Yeah, it's like even Michael Chase said on Saturday Night Live, we can't make fun of Donald Trump anymore because we can't try to top this.
Yeah, it's just
Well, you've got a pretty solid list to keep up on, so I don't want to add any more to it, except for maybe this one thing here. This dropped on Friday. This Will Ferrell movie on Netflix, Eurovision Song Contest: The Story of Fire Saga.
Okay.
Which kind of dropped out of nowhere. Basically, Will Ferrell has been following this Eurovision Song competition for decades in Europe, and apparently it's like American Idol times 12 on acid, and it's bands and singers of all genres competing against each other, and it's just this massive spectacle that puts anything America can put on to shame. And so this is about he and Rachel McAdams are a small town singing duo who kind of fail their way upward onto this competition, and it's just really ridiculous, but it's got some cool music.
Okay, I will put that on the list.
And Rachel McAdams, a criminally underrated comic actress.
Yes, agreed.
Yes, yeah. Now, I did have a question for you, Mr. Fall.
Okay.
I saw a brief, because where we zapped through commercials, there was something Apple TV looked like they were hinting at with Tom Hanks on a submarine.
Yeah. What is that called? It's coming up here. Yeah.
I think I saw it. It was like Greyhound or something.
Yeah, Greyhound. Yeah, it's right. It looks like a war epic. I don't know much about it, but it's apparently it's going to premiere on Apple TV Plus.
Okay.
So what I would recommend, if you're really interested in that, is to sign up for the week-long free trial, watch that, maybe a couple of other things, and then get the hell out, because there's really nothing to stay around for on Apple TV Plus.
Oh, I'm an Apple zombie, so I've
got it for free, right?
Free versions of it somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, there's not really much happening on Apple TV Plus. I've had several people ask me about it. Says, is this worth getting? I go, well, not if you didn't get it for free with whatever Apple thing you just bought.
Right. As opposed to my Apple Beats wireless, which are great for listening to music, but as for listening to conversations, not so much. But then again, shows what happens when I get something refurbished on Wish.
Not just from Wish, but refurbished from Wish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just let those layers sink in right there.
Wow.
And of course, I should mention this all happened before I got zumped. So that was probably my first indication things are going downhill.
So,
anyway,
but you still have your MBA.
Oh yeah, thank God. Oh, did I mention I have an MBA?
Time to take a drink.
Thank you.
But by the way, we should mention, now that you bring it up, who's sponsoring this week?
Oh, thank you.
We're like 10 minutes into this thing. We haven't mentioned a sponsor. Oh my God.
But no, you all segued in. Quite frankly, it was our good friend, OG sponsor, Sugar House Distillery. They bring us the single, excuse me, they bring me the single malt whiskey, which I fixed up into a very nice Manhattan that I can just cry my tears into when I feel like, oh, I failed at life, and then I realized, oh, it was my entire department. No, I didn't fail at anything. Our entire company failed us. So there's that. But I'm not bitter, thank God.
No, not at all. No, and as someone who follows TV news, I am waking up every day for the last several days to more news of like, this service is dropping this episode of this beloved sitcom because of a blackface episode. And and I'm sitting here thinking, first of all, this seems like a lot of blackface episodes that I don't remember happening. And second of all,
right.
So this was cool in the first place on these very popular, seen by a lot of people TV shows. This was cool in the first place, but now what?
Well, let's think about who usually are stars, writers, producers, directors, owners, etc. of a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they had fun with it.
Yeah,
I don't remember Martin ever doing blackface, but yeah.
Yeah, really. You'll notice it's all sitcoms, and like The Office had an episode. I don't remember that episode. 30 Rock had one. I don't recall that one. Scrubs had one.
Scrubs, I know they had quite a few of them. But,
quite a few? There were more than one?
Was on there.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And now today's culprit is Golden Girls.
The what?
Golden Girls. There was an episode where a couple of the characters were actually wearing mud facials in some spa.
Oh.
But the dialogue and the context of the situation pretty much made it blackface.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So there's another one. And then
I missed that one.
Yeah, me too. And now we have the guy who voiced Cleveland on Family Guy stepping away from his role.
I just heard that because blank on his name. Pierce is his last name. Great actor. Wendell Pierce. It sounds like Wendell Pierce wants to voice it now.
Give it to him.
Which would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, who else? Kristen Bell stepping away from her role voicing a mixed race young girl on Central Park, a show no one's seen on Apple TV Plus.
Well, and let's also talk about the other open secret of voice acting. Hank Azaria.
Oh yeah.
let me backtrack here. Harry Shearer, who voiced Dr. Hibbert. Oh, Homer, you're about to have a heart attack. Stepping away from that role, and of course, it should be pointed out that this conversation kind of really started with Harry Kondalabu calling out Hank Azaria for voicing Apu from The Simpsons, and Hank Azaria rightfully said, I didn't realize this. That's why I'm stepping away from him. That's why we haven't heard from Apu in a while. Probably rightly so. But yeah, I don't know if it's in the wake of a lot of other. What is your hashtag this week, Dr. White?
Oh, COVID quake, protest roids, deadly rabbits, fireworks fire, Utah.
Right. So
no murder hornet. Murder hornets.
Right, that third hashtag in there.
Yep.
I think that's what's really snowballing. And actually, that does bring up a question I wanted to ask you, Dr. White. I mean, this is where my mind's been kind of roiling when it comes to this stuff. Now, it's good that finally these executives, actors, whatever, are saying, yeah, we screwed up. We're going to take away from these shows. And that's good. This isn't the first time this has happened. I'm thinking of, cartoons back in the days from, Tom and Jerry and whatever. Now, and I know, and this is going to show my age, Tom and Jerry was showing, and Droopy cartoons, they were showing these cartoons right up until, I want to say, the mid-'80s, where they had their characters in the blackface, the Sambo, whatever characters.
Oh, I'd
And
say even later than that with Warner Brothers, with Looney Tunes.
yeah, and I think to and of course, we can't even go without saying Song of the South is pretty much a non-existent conversation at Disney. It's like,
Yep.
no, no, no. But I'm thinking to myself, as good as this is to not have this content anymore, I also feel like this can be a problem in that it is, for lack of a better term, whitewashing away the bad. I feel like they should be there, at least as far as educational content, i.e., like a Birth of the Nation, Song of the South, whatever. But where does one draw the line on that? What is acceptable to have in that conversation? What isn't? If that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, it does. I mean, what part of why I brought up Looney Tunes is I absolutely love Looney Tunes. I've watched them as a little kid. I'd watch them now. When I started buying some of the box sets. They actually had Whoopi Goldberg on a few. I can't remember if it's all the box sets, but I know at least a few of them. At the beginning of the disc would say, now these cartoons were in a time. Some of these were in a time, and explaining. Now they didn't cut them. They showed them. They had them as part of the collection. In some ways, I'm a bad person for this because I would love to see Song of the South again. I did see it as a young child. I remember seeing it. And why I say that is kind of like you were saying, historical, educational. I watched Birth of a Nation in college in a film class. We watched it for the cinematic history it has. The content of it is horrific. Yeah. I think these shows that are talking about, 30 Rock and others that have blackface episodes, they could, if they don't want them in regular rotation, that's fine. But if they're wanting to pull them completely from collections as if we never did them, that's ridiculous to me. Because that is, as you said, it is the true erasing. Like, oh no. I never said those kind of things or did those kind of things, and then people look back and find out and go, but you're, to me it's that, what's the phrase, virtue signaling kind of thing. It's like, no, show them, talk about them. That doesn't mean, to me, even Harry Shearer voicing Dr. Hibbert, okay, he's the difference between, and this is probably going to get me in trouble, but the difference between...
Don't worry, no one's listening.
You said it, not me. But, the difference between Hank Azaria doing a poo and Harry Shearer doing Dr. Hibbert is Dr. Hibbert was not talking in kind of what you could think of as jive speak or black speak or black English and those kind of things, where Apu, he was doing things with Apu's character that was stereotypical. Mm-hmm. If you get that, so that's a difference.
Right.
Yeah. So even, because I can see people going, so you can't have a white actor voice a black character or a Latinx character, or so how can you? So now do we drop Bart Simpson?
Oh yeah, not voiced by a man. Yeah,
right.
That's a female doing Bart Simpson. And I just can't think of. I would hate to have Linda on Bob's Burgers be by an actual woman.
Mm-hmm.
or the kids, for that matter.
And don't even get me started on whoever voices Dr. Girlfriend. Yeah, if it's going to be a real husky woman, it better be a very chain-smoky woman.
Exactly.
But, yeah, and I think that's... it sounds like that's a dialogue that needs to continually be talked about and progressed, and at least the footage should still be there, but don't lock it away. At the very least, give it to a government... wait, hold up. Remind me again, how much longer is it until this New Orange Order is over so we can say, maybe give it to a government?
Well, but one of the things I tell people, if you go back and get it back into television, go back and watch All in the Family, The Jeffersons, Good Time, Maude, thinking of Golden Girls. Go back and watch some of those shows from the 70s, and then I heard the N-word, I know, on television, and I had some people saying, "Oh, they've never said the N-word on television." I'm like, "Are you out of your mind?" Yes, they. But like I almost said the N-word, please.
Uh-huh.
Like so they could, and those shows were. I mean, yes, now they are, because they are dated, but that doesn't mean you then go, well, All in the Family was a horrible, racist, sexist show. It's like, yeah, that was the point at that time. Mm-hmm. That's what they were going for, to kind of point out, look how silly and ridiculous this is.
And they did a word-for-word reenactment just in the last couple of years on national TV.
Yep. Right. And more to
which
that,
I learned about from TV Tan.
Yeah. Yay.
See, you get to learn things here on our podcast, like great educational discussions like this, and sometimes you even get to drink a bit. So we're our podcast version of drunk TV history, folks.
Yeah.
Yes.
So one of these shows we talked about last week, Eric Andre's new stand-up special on Netflix, Legalize Everything, which is just fucking crazy because it's Eric Andre. And leading up to that special, he did some interviews, and he said of the pranks he pulls on people who are completely unsuspecting. Like there's some he looked at Sacha Baron Cohen, and what he does is I could not get away with those. I would probably be killed if I infiltrated some of the areas that Sacha Baron Cohen did, because he's a white guy and he can do it. And he just did it again today. Sacha Baron Cohen, he infiltrated a right-wing event in Olympia, Washington, of all places.
Yep. Oh God!
And he got spreading conspiracy theories to an unsuspecting crowd about Obama, Dr. Fauci, and getting them to do a racist sing-along. And it's all caught on film.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's out there. Look for it. It's it's funny and frightening at the same time.
Yep. I did have to admit, I like the part of it is the talking about what do you do with certain people. You do them like they did in Saudi, like the Saudis did.
Yeah, but here's my question here, Bill. On the scale, on the percentage of frightening to funny, where does it skew more towards? Because I asked because Sacha Baron Cohen.
Well, first of all, from the looks of it, this gathering, whatever the hell it is, probably has at least as many people as Trump did in Tulsa.
They're called they're the 3%ers.
Oh.
Is what they're called.
Yes.
It's that group.
Yeah, it was it was called the March for Our Rights 3 rally in downtown Olympia, Washington on Saturday. And, so he just showed up. I'd like to know how he finds out about these things. He just shows up at them.
Well, actually, to correct you just for a second, Dr. White, if COVID really catches those people, it's not going to be the 3%ers. It's going to be the 0.3%ers after the fact.
True. Now, do you think this could be a harbinger for him doing This Is America again?
Oh, maybe.
Season 2?
Yeah. It seems like the time is right. Maybe he thought he cured everything with the first round, but I think the time is right for another round, I think.
But who else should tag team with Sacha this time around? I'd like to say Eric Andre, but I like Eric Andre to a fault, so maybe not him.
That would be,
I don't know.
That would be a hell of a team. That would be the weirdest show.
I don't think anybody can handle that tag team
No.
of awesomeness and hilarity.
And
No.
then you'd have to bring it back around. You'd have to have Hannibal Buress as the sidekick again.
Yeah,
Oh.
he could be he could even out the energy there, just as he did on the Eric Andre show.
Yep.
Now, you said you had a whole lot of sports news. We better get to it then, if you have that
Yes,
much.
sir. I know.
I think I'm going through a tunnel.
Well, some of this you may want to be interested to listen to, Dr. White. Let me get the genius juice going here as Bill here hits the music.
It's sports with Tommy Milagro. Go team.
From the sports desk of the TV10 podcast, we deliver to you the sport of professional wrestling. Oh my God, this has just been a busy fucking week. So let's jump right into it. Starting off with NWA's Power. They have announced that one of their stars has decided to pursue other opportunities elsewhere. Their former television champion, Outlandish, Vicky Dice, parted ways with the company. So now the company is without an NWA television champion. Of course, they have not been wrestling because COVID. They have been doing episodes on YouTube channels. Haven't had any new ones of late. The other thing, and I'm going to back up a sec because Dr. White, just so you're aware of what took place recently, there has been a movement in professional wrestling called hashtag Speaking Out. I'm bringing this up because this might be of interest to you. This is basically for the sport of professional wrestling, hashtag Me Too for the pro wrestling set. And no one has been spared in this sport. Speaking of, going back to NWA, Vice President of Operations David Lagana had resigned his position as Senior Vice President because of these allegations. He said he didn't want to distract from the NWA. He'll be talking about this and at a later date, but as it stands right now, NWA, catch it on the YouTube. There's actually been some good ones, which I will highly recommend. Catch Girl Power if you subscribe to NWA. And no, that's not with Ice Cube and ETE. Let's clear that up. That's National Wrestling Alliance. But still, I would think Girl Power, the first 3 episodes have been very potent. The rest, I know you're going to fast forward to it or skip it at all. We'll get to that. There we go. There's that music that I miss so much. Moving on, Impact Wrestling. Oh, man, they have had just a fucking week. So, and again, in the light of Speaking Out, they have had like part of their core wrestling talent been either suspended or they've just been fired outright. As of this recording here, Michael Logan is no longer with TNA. It started because of a fight, but then it also got alleged that he was involved in sexual allegations. He's gone. David Christ of the tag team The North, he's gone for the same reason. Joey Ryan, he's gone as well. And the biggest news of all, Tessa Blanchard, their Impact heavyweight champion, was let go. Now, the early reports said they were fired, but really, they, depending on which story you read, she had been stuck in Mexico with the title, with her fiance Daga, the wrestler. Yes, those are names. And she hadn't been able to come across the border to defend the championship because, New Orange Order. And she was supposed to at least tape vignettes, tape promotion for the upcoming Slammiversary. She didn't even do that, and she was trying to negotiate for her pay, and then Impact Wrestling said, we thank you for all your future endeavors. No word on if that was done over a Zoom meeting. We're waiting to get confirmation on that. But as it stands right now, Impact Wrestling without a heavyweight champion. What is interesting is that there are talks that formerly released WWE superstars Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson are in talks of joining Impact Wrestling, as are some other recently released WWE superstars. We were following that story as it develops. Let's see, Red Badge of Courage Wrestling. They had been in the same boat as everybody else. They've been just showing some anthology content, and they ran out of it. They were hoping to get some tapings going, but two things stopping that. One, COVID, and there's no talk on when they will have any new episodes in the near future. Plus, because of hashtag speaking out, ROH is conducting some investigations, especially to one of their wrestlers and their head booker, Marty Scurll. There's been a lot of stories on that. I'm still trying to sort through it. More of that as it develops. Moving now to AEW. That's All Elite Wrestling. They've announced that they are going to be doing their pay-per-view called Fyter Fest, which is a play on the successful Fyre Fest.
Nice.
Ja Rule, yo.
Oh.
They did this last year, so it's not a big surprise. But it's going to be a 2-night event that is going to be broadcast on TNT on Wednesday nights for AEW Dynamite. Night 1, which is July 1st, will feature Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page. Hopefully he'll probably get that changed if NASCAR gets around, but we'll get to that later. No, he had the name before then. Just let's not get down that road. They will be defending their All Elite World Tag Team titles against Best Friends, and the American Nightmare, Cody, will be facing Jake Hager of the Inner Circle for the TNT Championship. But that's night 1. Night 2, which is going to be July 8th, is up in the air because it was supposed to be a heavyweight match with Jon Moxley against Brian Cage. However, this is where it's going to segue into WWE. Jon Moxley had to pull himself off of AEW's wrestling schedule because there was talk that he got in contact with somebody who had COVID. So if that match happened, we're waiting to hear from that. He is keeping everyone at All Elite safe, which brings us to WWE because they've been they got COVIDed again, and I bring this up because this is where it gets real interesting, folks. WWE had it was reported that some of their superstars got caught with COVID. Among them, Renee Young, the wife of Jon Moxley. And right now, it's they had delayed some tapings. They're supposed to begin them again. But what was also interesting is, as soon as these stories got mentioned via various social media platforms, WWE pretty much locked it down. And they are asking that, yes, that their superstars do not mention anything more about COVID within their ranks. So that can't be good for anybody's bottom line. But finally, this, yes, your long sports nightmare is almost over there, Dr. White. If you are going to watch anything good come out of the WWE, I highly recommend this documentary series that they've got about The Undertaker called The Last Ride, which is a lot better than The Last Dance because at least The Undertaker never pushed off of Brian Russell. You know you robbed us, Michael Jordan. You know you robbed us.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm mixing a what?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Another sport. I don't, yeah.
But I will say, The Last Ride, all 5 episodes of it are now available on the WWE Network, which you can subscribe for $9.99.
Not a sponsor.
Drink up, bitches. But I will say it is a great documentary series because you get to really see the man behind the character of The Undertaker, and it pretty much finalizes his career with WWE because, as it was suspected, but now he confirmed it in the final documentary, his last match at WrestleMania 36, the cinematic verite, that was the Boneyard match, and yes, that's actually a real term. It was his final performance. He was happy with it, and he just said, you know what? I am going to walk away from it all. So, if nothing else, if you know that you are going to watch any documentary that doesn't involve a worm or doesn't involve Michael Jordan, watch The Dead Man and know that Sports Desk will rest in peace. Because it's sports.
And sports, and Tommy Malago, go team.
Oh, we made it out the other side.
Did you get out of that tunnel, Dr. White?
Yes, I think I am out. Yeah. I think I'm out now.
Okay. Oof, that's good. I hate to think that you're still stuck with T-Mobile. Anyway. I got jokes. Anyway.
Some very important news to relate here. We have a premiere date for the next season of fan favorite Winona Earp on Sci-Fi. It's going to be in July. I believe it's the last Sunday of July. Finally, of course, I don't know if they got to finish the current season, so we're only getting like a few episodes, and it's going to go on a break. Then we'll get another bunch of episodes sometime later because they probably got shut down on filming, like everyone else did.
Right.
And
So,
also,
that's going to suck.
Also, The Boys, Amazon Prime Video, coming back in September.
Yes, that is my favorite bit of news thus far. Only just to hear Carl Urban swear every other word.
It was my favorite superhero show up until the premiere of Doom Patrol. Now, I don't want to hear about anything else but Doom Patrol because it is the best show ever.
I will contend this. What we need to do is take Carl Urban and Brendan Fraser as Robot Man and just have a swear-off.
Yes.
And just for laughs, it has to be officiated by Ian McShane, Virgin himself.
Okay, Ooh. Yeah.
If nothing else, I would just want to watch the FCC just crumble under that weight of fuckery.
Oh, yes. And speaking of HBO Max, that's where Doom Patrol resides right now. I'm currently compiling next month's content shifter column for Slug, and it's going to be about how to take a deep dive into the catalog of HBO Max, past HBO shows, and from other networks that they have in there you may have forgotten about or you never saw in the first place. One of them is one we talked about last week, Los Spookies from Fred Armisen. It's pretty much it's almost entirely in Spanish, but you shouldn't be put off by that because it's like really funny, really weird. Fred Armisen, also, if you had an aversion to Fred Armisen, he's not in it much. He's only there in the little. It's about a group of 20-something friends who stage horror supernatural pop-up events, and they have a business that they do this. They're all 20-somethings, and but there's also some real supernatural stuff happening in there, and the dialogue flies really fast, and there's a lot of subtitles to read, but you can do it. It's worth checking out. Okay. And also one we've talked about when we had Dr. White here before, A Black Lady Sketch Show with Robin Thede. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know this when it premiered. Not only is the cast all black women, the entire writing staff and the directing staff is all black women as well.
Yep. It is black. It's black, as they say, black girl magic completely.
I mean, they weren't fucking around with that title. This really is. Yep. And Ted, our one of our 12 fans, has pointed this show out, and I wanted to bring it back into attention here with the column. Boardwalk Empire. You know, everyone always talks about, The Sopranos and Deadwood and The Wire and all those, and
right.
You always seem to kind of gloss over Boardwalk Empire with Steve Buscemi. And it was fantastic. And we also always forget that it was a sort of a joint operation between Terrence Winter and Martin Scorsese. I mean, come on.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
Yeah. And a couple more. Tell me if you've ever heard of any of these. One is called Bored to Death.
I have heard
Yep.
it. Is that, no, wait.
Ted Danson.
Yes, okay, yes, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Where he, yeah.
And Jason
Okay,
Schwartzman.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He decides to become a detective. He doesn't need a license.
Oh, and joined with Zach Galifianakis
Yes.
and Ted Danson.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Craigslist were all the rage.
And how about Enlightened? Nobody remember that?
That one escapes me. at the
Laura
moment
Dern.
here.
Comedy starring Laura Dern.
Okay, those are two words that don't always go together. Keep
Okay.
going.
How about
Wait, was this? Did it come out about the same time as the? I'm blank on her. Laura Linney had done one about cancer.
The Big
or
C?
something?
Yeah, it was right around that
Yeah.
same time. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Did hear about it. Okay.
How about? Oh, I know some people love this show despite the critical fallout. John from Cincinnati.
I was one of them that liked that show.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Yep.
No one knows what it was about.
It was just bizarre surfers, and yep,
It looked
Yeah.
great.
yep. Don't
And
know why it was called John from Cincinnati. but-
yeah. How about Sally Forever, a British comedy?
No, I'm not familiar with that.
I don't know if I can recommend it. It might not make the final cut of the list. It's pretty cringy. There was a British series from probably about 15 years ago called Coupling. It was basically the British Friends.
Oh, okay.
It was like a dirtier, more British Friends.
That sounds familiar. But
Yeah.
And
Well-
also, isn't that kind of a oxymoron at this point?
And also included in the HBO Max catalog is all the episodes of United Shades of America.
Ooh, yes.
Now more than ever.
CNN.
Yeah. And here's a couple of oddities I've thrown in there just for the hell of it to see if anyone remembers them. Not that they should. One is one of HBO's original shows, Arliss.
Yes.
It
I
Hey.
absolutely loved
ran for several
as
seasons.
As a sports fan of that's beyond wrestling, I just thought it was brilliant the way they handled that and dealt with that kind of stuff.
Co-starring
I like that.
co-starring
Yeah, I like how
a young
they,
Sandra Oh.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't realize she was in there. That was her earliest.
One of her earliest things, yeah.
Jesus. But I have to say this, Dr. White. I know our sports desk is not your cup of tea, but really, our list is more fake than anything that you'll ever see in real. And I'm
True.
not using the quotations. Sports.
Yeah,
Well,
Arliss was the original Ballers.
Yep. Exactly.
Mm.
But you got to remember, Tommy, I grew up in Southeastern. Born in Oklahoma, grew up in Southeastern Kentucky. I actually, as a kid, got to meet Randy Macho Man Savage.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Because one of the places he used to wrestle was they would wrestle in Knoxville and wrestle up in Lexington.
Cool.
When you had the regional places, that was yeah.
In the
Like
final...
in his early years.
Yeah.
When he was doing it with his dad. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
the
You
final
got me
one...
there. I will not.
The last one I have on the list here is something you can find deep in the bowels of HBO Max. Dane Cook's Tourgasm. Anybody remember this?
Oh, yes.
First of all, anybody remember Dane Cook?
Unfortunately, yes.
Thank you.
There was a time when Dane Cook ruled comedy. He was the thing.
Before you continue any further, for all of our listeners at TV10 Podcast, please pause, drain your whatever beverage you have and the bottle it contained in, and then come back.
Yeah,
Hold
before Chris D'Elia, there was Dane Cook.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. What does it say where Dane Cook is probably a better human than Chris D'Elia? What universe are we in now?
For no one who remembers, which is everyone, Tourgasm was a mini-series where Dane Cook went out on a tour bus with 3 other comedians whose names escape me at the moment. None of them very well known. And basically, it was their wacky antics on the road doing comedy. And yeah, it was pretty much the beginning of the end for Dane Cook. That's when everything started going south.
Yeah, but did it ever get better before then?
No, he was doing the arenas in the round, and then he sort of fell out of favor. Then he started doing a comeback tour, doing smaller venues. And right around that time, I actually interviewed him on the phone, and he was perfectly pleasant. He was not the dickhead I was expecting at all. But he was,
and then
he just kind of faded out from there. I don't know what he's up to now.
Well, hopefully not pulling a Chris D'Elia. Let's just pray for that. Can we?
Well, he's in no famed position to do it, I don't think. And we're about ready to wrap it up here. If there's one show you would recommend people watch right now, Dr. White, if you could say, this is the one you should watch right damn now to celebrate America on the 4th of July.
Oh, I didn't think of that. Oh, to celebrate America.
Well, you know.
Yeah. Okay, well, hold up. You put too much emphasis on the A, Dr. White. What would you recommend to celebrate
America?
Thank you.
Actually, you mentioned it, Mr. Frost. If you can find it, go do a marathon of United Shades of America. I can't think of a better way to say Happy Birthday, America than watching a black man in the very first episode have to go to a cross burning.
Okay. All right, I'm not going to try to top that. You win. I already read The Awkward Thoughts of W. Kamau Bell. I've seen the episode. No, Bill, it's on you. You can try to top that.
You can find that on HBO Max. You can probably also find it on CNN On Demand, however they do their On Demand.
Oh, and I would say the only thing I will add to it would be, as soon as you watch that episode of United Shades and you go, no, that can't happen anytime soon, turn around to Netflix and actually go on HBO and Max and watch Black Klansman, which I believe is on. Then go to Netflix, take a left turn, and watch The Five Bloods. And then, please, folks, have that conversation of why all lives matter. Please, have that conversation with us. We're waiting.
And Tommy, what would you say to celebrate America?
For me, I would say if you feel like Doom Patrol is just getting way too out there, like we're talking Dirk Gently out there.
Oh, it started out there. It didn't get it. Yeah. It started there.
Yeah. I would say watch Stargirl on the CW.
Oh, yeah.
They still have episodes going. And they're now at the point where Stargirl is forming her own version of the Justice Society of America.
Oh,
right. So that they can topple the Injustice Society. And it's only great just because Luke Wilson is trying to be the mentor for all these burgeoning superheroes.
In addition to Doom Patrol, 2 series that just wrapped up, that you can watch them all now. You don't have to wait for an episode to come out week to week. Penny Dreadful, City of Angels just ended tonight, so 10 episodes are out there. It's weird as hell.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt, Bill.
That's right.
That again?
As our friend Gustavo calls it, Pendejo Dreadful.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. See, he says it's not quite historically accurate, but yeah, there probably weren't demons in L.A. either. I'm guessing.
Oh, clearly he's never been to the Rainbow Bar.
Well, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. And also Harley Quinn. Now 2 seasons on DC Universe. They've also been doing reruns on the Sci-Fi Channel of the first season. Very funny, very animated, and very foul-mouthed. Not for the kids.
I was gonna because I haven't checked out the reruns yet on Sci-Fi on CP. Is it the unedited?
I haven't checked them out either. I'm not sure what depends on how late it airs and what you can get away with on cable, but I will check out some episodes on Sci-Fi to see just how edited they are.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And also check out Sorry to Bother You on Hulu from 2018. Lakeith Stanfield and Tessa Thompson. It's a very funny, very strange movie, and you'll see what I'm talking about if you check it out.
Oh, we got so much TV for all of our listeners to really just jam through this week as they celebrate Merca. Or some rendition of it, anyway.
Actually, the 4th of July is next Sunday, so technically, if we record on our usual schedule, Sunday night, we'll be recording on the 4th of July.
Oh. Right, because we're patriotic and shit.
Yeah, we don't take the day off, or do we? We'll find out next. We'll find out next week.
No, didn't you took off Memorial Day?
True. Yeah.
See, I pay attention.
Well, in my case, I'm on a somewhat lengthened time off, but that goes without saying. Please don't make me have a Zoom meeting.
We want to thank this week's sponsor, Sugar House Distillery. It was the whiskey, right?
That would be the single malt whiskey,
yeah.
Sir. One of their first forays into the distilling business. And, of course, let's not forget our other good friends of Outlaw Distillery, Ogden's own distillery, that give to us the Five Lives vodka, the Madame Patarini gin, the Porter's Fire, and all its variations, and the Underground, and, of course, Bohemian Brewery, if you want to slake your thirst, because America, and, of course, if you really want to, be sure to stop by in downtown Salt Lake and say hello to Ivy at Booze Tea. But for God's sake, folks, wear a mask.
Did we mention?
Please?
Did you mention Outlaw in there?
I did.
Okay, I'll just mention them again then.
Yeah. All right. Yep.
All right.
You need to mention them again. So
sure. Okay, that's enough. We want to thank Dr. White for joining us. I know you got a lot of TV to watch.
Oh yeah, and it's not even February or November or May. I'm here on a non-sweeps month.
I think July is like the sweeps month that no one ever pays attention to because it's the summer. So you're pretty close. We're not quite there yet.
Okay.
You'll only notice it on local news when they start doing it's getting harder nowadays though to do these stories of blank will kill you, find out at 10.
Exactly.
I mean,
everything will kill us.
What's left?
let's see. Which of the 10 plagues was it? It was frogs, rivers of blood.
We've had locusts.
Let's see. Well, the seagulls will take care of it, so no big deal.
Rednecks.
Frogs. I want to say we just got to wait for the firstborn to be killed. So everybody wipe your doorways with blood from a lamb. That'll steer the angel of death away.
Yeah, I guess just go to Winco to get that, I guess.
No. You got to go to Costco just to get it in bulk. But again, folks, wear a fucking mask.
Yes. All right. Thanks, Dr. White, for being here, and everybody say goodnight, America.
Good night, America. Wear your mask.
And jiggle that handle because, that was so nasty. We had to make sure you had to flush.